Well, do you want to do one with me or no?
Sure. Let's do it. You go first.
Okay.
Difficult.
You've been asked this question before. There's some who've suggested here, President Trump, that you were virtually abandoned by the last administration. Again, I know you've been asked this question before, but do you feel you've been abandoned?
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you're wondering why I'm doing this video from in my closet, head on over to X to find out. Despite having to do this video from my closet, I do still have 3 stories that I think you're going to find extremely interesting and entertaining. We're going to start off with this insanely bizarre clip from Meet the Press yesterday. I'm not going to say anything about it other than I challenge you to watch it without getting intense secondhand embarrassment and then dying.
Well, do you want to do one with me or no?
Sure.
Sure, I'm an unappealing actor in a bad movie. Sure.
Let's do it. You go first.
Okay. Okay, this is how we do it on SNL. We do the thumb and the lip, right?
Okay.
That, right? Even though he never did those things. And then we do the staircase, it's called. And the staircase is like, I love your shoes. Love your shoes.
Okay, let me try it.
Love your shoes.
Oh, that's so good.
What the hell are you talking about?
All right, well, here. I love your shoes.
What the hell was that?
I think you're much better at it.
York have been left in ruins.
Good
God!
I failed. Moving on to number 2, the Euros are leaving no mysteries about their slide into an Orwellian tyranny and their pathetic weakness. Just a day after Vice President J.D. Vance called them out for their slide into an authoritarian tyranny, their leaders come out to whine, complain, and cry. Yes, they actually cried.
Or to this very country, where police have carried out raids against citizens suspected of posting anti-feminist comments online as part of, quote, combating misogyny on the internet, a day of action.
This is why I cannot just ignore what we heard before. I cannot not comment on the speech we heard by the US Vice President. We fight for your right to be against us. That is the motto, one of the mottos of the Bundeswehr, and it stands for our democracy. This democracy that was just called into question by the US Vice President, and not just the German democracy, but Europe as a whole.
Let me conclude, and this becomes difficult.
What the hell is that?
Oh yes, it's just so unfair for J.D. Vance to say those mean things about the Europeans. Meanwhile, if he said that in Germany, they could send armed agents to arrest him for insulting politicians.
Is it a crime to insult somebody in public?
Yes, it is.
And it's a crime to insult them online as well?
Yes.
And we were with state police as they raided this apartment in northwest Germany. Inside, 6 armed officers searched a suspect's home, then seized his laptop and cell phone. The punishment for breaking hate speech laws can include jail time for repeat offenders.
Hands. Are we the baddies?
So yes, J.D. Vance was correct, and countries within the European continent are sliding into authoritarian tyrannies. If democracy means that you can be arrested and imprisoned for insulting politicians, then why would anyone want to be part of it? Make no mistake, we have plenty of these people right here in America, and curiously, many of them are in our media.
Well, he was standing in a country where free speech was weaponized to conduct a genocide.
I don't remember asking you a damn thing.
Okay, so moving on to my favorite story of the day. NASA is now accusing Donald Trump of lying. This all started about a month ago when NPR put out a story claiming that Donald Trump was lying when he said that these NASA astronauts were stranded in space. Which is really strange because NPR themselves had put out a story saying that the astronauts were stranded in space. That brings us to today and this clip from CNN.
You've been asked this question before. There's some who've suggested here, President Trump, that you were virtually abandoned by the last administration. Again, I know you've been asked this question before, but do you feel you've been abandoned?
We don't feel abandoned. We don't feel stuck. We don't feel stranded. I understand why others may think that. We come prepared. We come committed. That is what your human spaceflight program is. It prepares for any and all contingencies that we can conceive of, and we prepare for those. So if you'll help us change the rhetoric, help us change the narrative, and let's change it to prepared and committed, vice what you've been hearing. That's what we prefer.
Gee, I guess if they're not stranded, then they won't need that extremely expensive SpaceX rescue that had been planned. It's almost as if since Donald Trump said they're stranded, now our free press has to rewrite history and claim they're not stranded. Except we have well-documented proof that our entire so-called free press had already been calling them stranded long before Donald Trump said anything. I think what happened here is that those astronauts a couple weeks ago had actually thanked Donald Trump and Elon Musk for planning this rescue. So of course the extreme left-wing nutjobs in their field pressured them to take that back and join them in this latest hoax. What do you all think? Should Donald Trump cancel the rescue mission that had been planned? Let me know in the comments, and if you're still here, might as well hit that like button and subscribe. I do post on a regular basis, so keep checking back for more. Thanks a lot.